Welcome to Justice for, a true crime podcast hosted by two besties from Colorado. We're focused on bringing justice to the victims by telling their stories. New episodes release every single Tuesday, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and the follow button anywhere that you can find us, and you'll get updates on all of our new episodes.
Just a warning, this podcast does contain adult language and adult themes such as assault and abuse of varying forms, so please listen and watch with discretion. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another WTF episode. We're your hosts. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sam. What is a WTF episode?
What is it?
I'm so glad you asked. It is a chance for us to catch you up on all things happening in the true crime world, as well as cases that we may have already covered. New episodes drop every other week on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update.
Okay, so today we have a bunch of updates for you guys.
Yeah.
And one kind of new thing I'm going to introduce.
Yeah.
So we'll start there with the new thing before we get into updates. So, who the fuck is dumping women's shoes in a pond near the Book Cliffs in Mesa County, Colorado?
I don't know.
Okay, so
This has been like all over TikTok, right?
it has. It's been all over TikTok, but not in the media.
Yeah.
None of the news stations, nothing else. It's just on TikTok where we find this. So, a guy named Levi Comstock posted a video on TikTok a few months ago. And he was documenting his find of 10 pairs of women's shoes, all different kinds of shoes. So heels, flats, all different sizes. And also there was a almost brand new pair of nylons found. And it's found like in the water and like muddy area on this pond. And he says that he has like four-wheeled and been up in this area before and he's never seen this pond. Like it was new to him, so he went and explored it. And he just thought it was really weird because he had been to it, like, in the other times he goes to it afterwards, the water level is different. So he found these because the water level was lower. And he, of course, called the police as well as making the TikTok video to be like, this is really weird. This is really far out here in the middle of nowhere. It's not like an easy walk from the road. No one's wearing heels out here. And the Mesa County Sheriff's Department has been out to this location 3 separate times. And they keep saying nothing nefarious is wrong. Nothing has happened. It's not weird. It's probably just illegal trash dumping.
Just
which is
women's
common.
shoes.
But it's only women's shoes. It's not clothing. It's nothing else. There's no trash. It's
shoes.
literally just shoes. So Levi doesn't believe this because he's like, this isn't easy to get to. And those water levels changing, meaning there could be more stuff in there that we just can't see. And he only found this because the water was low.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right. But then a retired FBI agent on TikTok suddenly makes a video about it. And he has 3 videos. And he definitely believes Levi should stay on top of this. He thinks that something is not right about this. It's extremely weird that they are different sizes. Where their location is. He definitely thinks that they should get some divers out there or equipment to scan the water, do whatever, to see what else is in there.
Yeah.
Well, he also, the retired FBI agent, also links another TikToker who has been commenting on Levi's videos as well. And I personally don't know how I feel about her yet because she brought a very interesting theory in that there are these people who make videos of like destroying shoes. So like they'll wear shoes and like it's just a video of them like smushing them in the mud or like getting them wet or whatever. People are weird on the internet. But she thinks that it's somebody going up to this area, doing this, filming it, and then they just leave it there instead of taking it with them. Which, okay, but they're all different sizes. So, like, unless we went to, like, the Ark and just grabbed what we could in one run, okay. But she also laces a lot of this with her doubt in Levi being innocent. Which, if he's the one who is dumping these shoes out there, why is he going to make a TikTok video about it? Pointing it out and drawing everyone's attention to it. So, the other part of it is there's not a large number of missing women in Mesa County right now. We don't have an influx of missing women that everyone's trying to find and it's getting weird. but that doesn't mean that we can't exclude this could be somebody's trophy dumping ground or their evidence dumping ground, and this is just what's like washed to the edge of the pond. Could be a dumping ground in general. I mean, that's just like alleged, like it could be. Who knows? But as of right now, Mesa County Sheriff's is saying that there's nothing weird about it. Okay. So, what do you think?
Bro, I don't know. Like, for one, most like serial killers like to keep the trophies.
I don't think trophy is a good word to use for that, but like
An item.
an item,
Like
like
a
I don't know, like just
memorabilia
trying
thing
to get rid of
for
like their
them.
clothes or part of like,
Yeah.
and this could be an identifying thing.
Yeah.
She also, that one TikToker, she does go through and catalogs the years the shoes, like what year those shoes came out,
Mm-hmm.
because some of them do have like you know how the tags sewn into the heel of the shoe on high heels and stuff like that. So a few of them she has traced back to like earlier 2000, like 2010s in
Okay.
there. Um, but it's all very interesting, and the fact that the police don't really care
Yeah.
to investigate it more. I more so, not using trophy is the right word. I think that it could just be somebody getting rid of evidence from crimes that they've done, and they just think that this is a really good spot that nobody is
Mm-hmm.
going to be
But
searching
why
through.
just shoes? Not why not anything else? The whole situation is just so strange. Like,
And you would
if
think that clothes would float and wash up before heavy shoes would,
yeah.
unless the shoes came off the bodies.
Where's everything else though?
Oh wait, we have to go back to the Murdoch, because with being in the water in the shoes and trying to find, and like your shoes won't pop. Okay. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of questions and we have no media coverage on it. We don't, like, there's a few articles here and there. Just TikTok is catching on to it.
Yeah. Because I mean, maybe there isn't anything nefarious going on, nothing crazy going on, and there's someone just dropped a bunch of shoes for a TikToker to possibly come and find it
You know, some
and
people
make
just leave
conclusions.
weird things to make people go, huh, wonder what people are going to think one day when they find this.
Yeah. I mean, it's all very strange. It doesn't make sense. But like, I don't know, maybe it could have been a group of girls standing there and was like, let's all throw our why they have heels, I don't know. But like there's so many things that could be happening. It could be group of teenagers being dumb. It could be something did happen. Something bad could have happened.
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities with this, but the fact that they're not even looking, like nothing is happening with it
Yeah, like
except
the
for
sheriff's office is like, this is fine, it's normal. And a retired FBI agent is like,
especially some of the shit
well,
in Grand Junction
yeah,
specifically, like that kid. I know we haven't talked about this, but that kid that chopped up that homeless man in his
yeah.
house,
Grand Junction,
in
we
his
will,
parents' house. Like
and they didn't even know.
there's so much going on in Grand Junction that who knows? And it's out of the way. It's like
Oh,
five
yeah,
hours
and
away
so,
from
like,
here.
we have, as I said, it's in the book cliffs, like, there's a lot of cliffs, and it is, like, deserty area, but you also have foresty areas,
Yeah.
too. It's Colorado terrain is
Like
interesting.
it's literally on the other side of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado.
Yes.
So
It's,
it's
near
weird.
Utah and the Colorado
Yeah.
border, like, it's on your way to go to Utah when you drive out that way. So, we will definitely I just wanted to bring this up, see if you guys have heard about it, see what you think, and if we get media coverage, if more videos happen, if more things come out, we will definitely update you with it. But
Mhm.
this is just kind of a fun one to
It's
watch right now.
strange.
It's
It's
strange
weird.
and we want to follow it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
What
So
do you got for me, boo boo?
so in a previous WTF that we just told you guys about, what the fuck is going on with Bionca Ellis?
Oh, this woman.
Uh-huh. She's the one who we talked about. I don't remember if it was this past WTF recently. It's in the past couple at
Yes.
least. All right. She is the gal in Ohio who stabbed a 3-year-old and his mother outside of a grocery store.
Yes.
The little boy, unfortunately, did not make it. The mom is alive and well, and we told you guys about her very interesting hearing that she had reading her charges to her. She was the one who was just laughing and
And
smiling at the
Rogan for the camera.
Well, she was supposed to go to trial already. She was supposed to have a pre-trial hearing, all of this stuff. Unfortunately, the judge issued an order under seal. So we have nothing. We're not allowed to know basically anything
I'm
right
kind
now.
of surprised by this.
I know.
I'm surprised. I didn't expect it for hers. Like we already have so much video and
Yeah,
everything else
there were
already.
so many eyewitnesses for it too.
Like I could think of 5 other cases off the top of my head that deserve that more than this case.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I
You're
completely
agreed.
agree. Everything's already out from trial though, so
I know, but
it's not really
that
doesn't need to
deserved
be
it
under
way
seal
more than them.
anymore. Regardless, we don't know anything. All we do know is the next hearing date is set for July. I know you're probably listening to this like mid-July. We just don't have a date. And they are still deciding if they're going to seek the death penalty or not. Which,
I hope they do.
with how callous of a crime this was, absolutely they should.
Yes. And we just want to keep you guys updated on all the things with
Yeah.
it because this one is we're keeping an eye
Yeah.
on it.
I think the reason that they might be just holding on to everything, like not wanting to put anything out, is probably because she's so fucking mental that they don't want.
Her to be able to use it.
Oh no, she's gonna use it. Her defense absolutely
Oh,
will
well,
use
yeah.
that, but I don't think they want any of that information released, like from doctors or anything like that. So
Yeah.
unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but as we get information, we will release it out to you guys.
Absolutely. But our hearts absolutely still go out to mom and dad.
Oh, yeah.
And we want some justice, man.
Oh, yeah. Definitely be on Justice Watch for this one.
Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of Justice Watch.
Mm.
Okay, guys. So,
This is a
I'm sorry. I need you guys to buckle up for the rest of this episode because I have a lot to give you.
I'm just gonna put comments in here.
Yeah. So
be ready. Like it's a lot. It's a lot.
So, what the fuck did the 900-page document about Madeline Soto's disappearance, murder, investigation, everything reveal? So, was it like a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago?
It's been like 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. A 900-page document documenting the timeline leading up to Maddie's disappearance afterwards. All the stuff with Stefan Stearns has been released, and we've been going through it. I mean, we don't have the document, but we've been going through everything that's analyzing it and just making sure that we know.
They have only released the document, this 900-page document, to a handful of people.
Yes. And one of the main ones being Court TV. God, we love Court TV.
And CNN.
Yes. So,
But
really
mostly
quick,
Court TV.
for those of you not familiar with Madeline's case.
Mm.
Madeline Soto was reported missing on February 26th, the day after her 13th birthday party. She had turned 13 actually like a few days before that.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom, Jen Soto, went to pick her up from school, and the school said Maddie wasn't at school all day. Jen's boyfriend, Stefan Stearns, had supposedly dropped her off at school across the street from school that morning at a church. And originally, when this case first broke, there was video footage that everyone thought was Madeline at the church across from the school. It came out that was not her. So then on March 1st, they discovered Maddie's body in a wooded area near a road that, surprise, surprise, Stefan was broken down, or not broken down, he's changing a flat tire on his car. He had been seen. So Stefan is being charged with dozens of sexual abuse
60
charges, 60 for over 1,500 disturbing images and videos of Madeline on his phone going back years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh boy.
Yeah.
All of that is, if you want to read it, it was like a 34, 35-page document going through each of the charges. I remember, and it's released to the public. I was reading it, and I was
You're Snapchatting me.
Snapchatting both of you, I'm pretty sure, our group one, and my jaw was so far on the ground.
And it's also coming out that a lot of these pictures and videos and images of Madeline are while she is asleep.
Really?
And we are going to get into that. So, a lot of how they match. So, a lot of these videos and pictures were close up. We're zoomed in. So, we don't always have a lot of faces or anything else. And some of the things that the police investigators, how they connected it was, one, they compared clothing of Maddie and Stefan's and in the house to what they found in pictures and videos. They also compared rooms and bedspreads and stuff in the house and compared it, and that's how they went back as far as they did and could confirm. Another damning factor in this is Jen Soto, Madeline's mom, confirmed that it was Stefan Stern's, can I say penis?
Yes.
It was Stefan Stern's penis in some of these pictures and videos with Madeline, because he has a very distinct pink red coloring from the tip of his dick to about halfway down. That is very distinct. Oh, on his penis? Sorry. Sex talk with Sue. Anyway, so Jen confirms that that is him, because so we have him on all of this. Also, for those of you who may not be familiar, Stefan accidentally factory reset his phone the day that Maddie went missing.
What a coincidence.
Yes. So also we've had more body cam footage that was released.
Yes.
And
we're going to link that below.
We are going to link that below. Watch it. It is weird. It is so telling. So first of all, they are at like this tax office because apparently Madeline would occasionally go there after school.
She would hang out at an accounting firm.
Yes. So that's where they're doing all of this. And Jen is like, they're asking her like what she was last wearing, and she like stone faces looking at the camera. And Stefan is like standing behind her, arms crossed, kind of like, leering over all of this. The police ask if her school laptop can be tracked, and she goes, no. But one of the kids in the video is like, oh no, it can. They have GPS on them. So it's all very weird.
Hold on. They also asked if she had a photo of Madeline.
Oh God. And she is like scrolling for a minute.
On Facebook.
No. She's scrolling through her photos at first, and then she goes, oh no. Stefan goes, why don't you show him the one from her birthday party? And she goes, I'd have to go on Facebook because I wasn't there. I didn't take it. I'm sorry. Even when I'm not with my kid, I download that shit instantly.
Yeah.
So, okay. Moving on, though, out of everything that we have kind of covered before.
Yes.
So, before I get into the timeline that we actually have for everything that did happen, I do want to point out that Jen can still be charged with accessory after the fact for knowing about it in the state of Florida. So, if she knew that Maddie was already dead while she is talking to police reporting her missing, she can still be charged as an accessory after the fact because she knew about it in the state of Florida. They are still debating whether or not they're going after the death penalty for him, for both.
I think they're going to.
I think they're going to as well.
Just with one, how big this has gotten, and two,
so
how graphic it is.
I do believe they're going to go with death penalty for the murder. We're going to have two trials. We're going to have the sexual abuse trial because they're going to want to do that first, because they're going to use that in the murder trial to get the death penalty for his aggravating, like charges, like he already, like aggravating factors. They're going to use the sexual abuse trial as an aggravating factor to get the death penalty in her murder, to be able to use that together.
Do you think he's going to take a plea?
I'm not sure. Everything on court TV, they're very much saying like trial. Like we are very much looking at a trial, which I also want to mention, like analysts and everyone and the police, they are not going on the premeditated path. Everyone is thinking that this was a spur of the moment panic kill, because what I'm about to tell you shows that he was not as calculated as he should have been if he planned this.
Okay, I'll hold my thoughts.
Yes. Also, another thing to keep in mind, the death penalty in Florida is an 8-4 decision, not a unanimous decision.
Hell yeah, brother.
So, all the jurors do not have to agree in order for him to get the death penalty. We only need 8.
Is it firing squad? Probably not in Florida.
Can we bring that back?
It's still active in a few states.
I hope so. That'd be fun.
I'm pretty sure Idaho's one of them.
Ooh. So, let's talk about the timeline.
Yes.
So, we're going to start with Sunday night.
Okay.
At 8:30 p.m., Madeline is dropped off at the house, and this is after her birthday party. Now, we had all believed that Stefan was at that party. Remember, Jen was at work.
Yeah.
Stefan wasn't at that party, because at 8:45, Stefan comes home. Maddie was dropped off at 8:30 by a relative.
Why the...
So
Okay.
no one's home. She comes home. Stefan comes home at 8:45 and helps Maddie with her nighttime routine, which includes a shower and her nighttime meds to help her sleep.
'Cause 13-year-olds can't do that themselves.
Yeah, my 11-year-old's been getting ready for bed by herself since she was like 8. So
Go on.
at 10:30, Jen comes home.
Hmm.
At 11, Jen sends Maddie and Stefan to bed together in the same room because, and I quote her, I wanted to sleep in and get some good rest, so I sent them upstairs. Now, it wasn't uncommon for her to do this. Sometimes they all slept in the same bed together. She admits this.
I
She
think
also
she should get
says
charged just for that.
she also says that in the beginning, she was very adamant about not letting them be alone together and being very much like doing it. She relaxed over the years. So at 11:49, Stefan logs onto Telegram.
What's Telegram?
Thank you for asking. So, Telegram...
I'm old. I don't know. I don't know things.
Listen, I had to Google. So, Telegram is a website where you can upload videos and pictures of anything, really, and do that. But
Didn't they have something like Whisper that you did that on?
yeah, I'm not
I don't
familiar with Whisper, but I think there's so much on the internet. Anyway, but the thing about Telegram is everything that you upload and do is all encrypted. So it's basically the new pedophile playground
Ew.
because
Don't say
you
that.
can upload videos and it's not trackable to you. You upload things anonymously and everything like that, and nobody knows. And it's incredibly encrypted, and it's a pedo playground. And this is the same website that has been talked about as being used to blackmail teenage girls. So they get talked into uploading this video. And then someone goes, well, if you don't upload more of those videos, I'm going to send this to your family. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So he logs on to this website underneath him, doing all the things at 11:49. So that's about an hour after everyone goes to bed,
Bedtime.
and those nighttime meds are kicking in. Remember, let's go back to a lot of those images where you could see Madeline. She seems to be asleep. So back to us wondering how this abuse was not talked about by her, which I'll touch on that a little bit later, if she might not have actually known about it all.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also live stream on Telegram.
Ew.
Yes. So let's go. I'm going to touch back on that in a second once we get to the end because there are some other things I want to add, but I need to get through the rest of this in order to add that.
Okay.
So we're going to go to the next morning now. This is Monday morning. Stefan claims that 7 to 7:15, he wakes up Maddie and they do morning stuff. 7:30 to 7:45, he says they left the house. 7:50, Stefan is seen driving away with Maddie slumped over a little bit in the front seat. Like her head is just slumped over a little bit.
Because he claims that she was sleeping on the way to school.
Yes. 8 to 8:15, Jen claims Stefan wakes her up getting the dog leash. And she says that she could hear someone in the kitchen. And he came in the room and she helped him find the dog leash to take the dog out because they don't like when the dog pees in the bed. It's important. At 8:19, Stefan is seen on camera re-entering the apartment complex. but like from 8 to 8:15 he was supposedly in the house with Jen, but he's just now returning to the apartment complex. And Maddie is still slightly slumped over in the front seat. At 8:31, Stefan leaves the apartment complex again, but this time Maddie is completely slumped over in the front seat. 9 a.m., Jen gets out of bed. But remember previously, she said that she saw Maddie at 8 a.m. that morning getting dressed and ready for school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know?
Oh, hold on. Hold on, what? Do I know what?
Why he went back to the apartment complex?
I'll touch on that in a moment. We're not entirely sure.
Okay.
But at 9:40, we have surveillance of Stefan going into a hotel parking garage. He is then seen getting out of the driver's side of the car, going around to the passenger's front seat, removing a limp body, walking to the trunk, and then placing a limp body into the trunk. At 11 a.m. So, that is at 9:40. At 11 a.m., Stefan goes back to the apartment. Then, at 12:40, he leaves again. The police follow his car on cameras to exactly where they discovered Maddie's body.
Mm-hmm.
And she was discovered 72 feet off the road, where that witness had seen him changing a flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
What's your question?
I already asked my question.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
But yeah, just insane. So the fact that he's on so many cameras and him going back to the apartment complex, they think it's because he left his phone there or he was trying to make timeline. This is where they think it's panicked because he's leaving and coming. Some of those leaving and going is through the back gate, so they think that he didn't think there was cameras back there. One of the times he comes back is when he's disposing of her laptop in her backpack.
Okay.
So this timeline calls out a lot of Jen's lies. She did not see her getting ready that morning. And the limp body, we have a limp body at 9:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which means with the previous allegations of her being killed between 11 and 2 a.m., she's got to have been killed closer. There's also an alleged theory that she was alive in the car, and it wasn't until he was in that parking garage that he killed her, or he killed her back at the house. We're very unsure on when she actually died.
Okay. So rigor mortis generally sets in between 5 to 12 hours. Let's just say she did somehow get unalived between 11 and 12, or I'm sorry, 11 and 2 a.m. There is a possibility, a very small possibility, that rigor mortis hadn't set in. I don't necessarily see that. I'm gonna keep going here on my thoughts. So onto the hotel part of it, right? Hotel parking lot. How they were saying maybe she was alive until then. That could absolutely be plausible, just for the fact that maybe she was drugged, and that's why she slumped, because she's so drugged she can't even hold herself up. But I feel that's slightly a long shot. In my heart of hearts, my gut tells me Jen was involved.
Yes. I don't know what level she was involved at.
Yeah.
Once I have gotten a lot of this and I've been looking at it and reading through some stuff, I'm starting to think this is allegedly what I believe happened. Allegedly, my opinion. I think that he went to bed with her. This is where Jen is not innocent. You don't send your 13-year-old to sleep in your boyfriend's bed. I'm fucking sorry. You don't. And in my own opinion, I think that he was sexually abusing her. And I think something went wrong. I think he went too far. I think he either choked her too much. Somehow because it has not been officially released, but there has been sources that have told Things Close that it was strangulation. It's her cause of death. It is not official or released, but it has been.
They are not releasing the autopsy because
No.
she's underage, by the way.
Yeah, they haven't released her cause of death, but it has been rumored that it was strangulation. So I could see a sexual abuse act gone wrong
Totally.
that killed her, and then he panicked, which is all of the moves that happen afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think Jen comes into play in this is she knew about it. She knew when he killed her and then proceeded to help cover it up.
Yeah.
I don't think she killed her.
But she
And to touch on her relationship with Jen, they did interview classmates and other people. So Jen and Maddie didn't get along. She did not like her mom. Well,
I wonder
I
why.
wonder why she allows
Why?
this to be going on in the house. But on the other hand, Stefan, he claims that he was the one that Maddie would turn to when Jen and her would fight. And Maddie would always go to him, and they had all these conversations because he had moved out of the apartment for a while and was living like with his mom to like help her out or something like that. And so like he claims that she would call him and that they would have these great talks in these meetings and that they were always together and that they had a great relationship. And her friends at school say she hated Stefan. She thought he was weird. She thought he was creepy.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like her mom. Now, I know that we have talked about our theory about Madeline being pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So, another interesting thing is that one of the friends said that Maddie would get her period 2 days before she would get hers. But before she went missing, she was a week or two later than them. But she got it. And it was never discussed why or what. So, I don't know, like stress. Maybe she's figuring this out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So I have a very good relationship with my mother. Don't get me wrong. Um, but like I feel that most children who don't have a good relationship with anyone in their household, which it was just those two, her and her mom don't get along and she thinks Stefan's weird. I feel like she would do everything she could to not be at that house, especially with the situations going on. So I don't know how much I can believe all of that. Just,
It's all so weird. And the fact that you keep reading things that there's two other roommates who lived in the house.
yeah. I just feel like she had so many friends, so many, like, so many other, like, family members.
And this abuse was never talked about.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it was happening when she was sleeping, and maybe she woke up or she was starting to wake up and starting to notice.
Hmm. I don't know. I also, just based off of what I read with all of what they found on his phone, all the pictures, all the videos, everything like that, some of those acts that were in those pictures and videos and things like that, there's no way she slept through it.
No.
There's no way.
No, there's not. And another point to bring up, Stefan was dating a girl, a coworker, like kind of like, there's a bug in the middle of
But,
like him and Jen being on and off. And this coworker, this ex, said that she kind of cut ties with him after he made a couple, he thought these were normal statements to make about like sleeping in bed with Maddie and about how waking up one morning with an erection and having to roll over to hide it.
yeah,
Like he's literally telling his girlfriend this. Like it's normal.
I don't know. It just, there's so much going on. And the other thing also is, I know I've mentioned it to you a couple of times. Maybe he was so in love with Maddie because of him being a disgusting human,
Yes.
but maybe he was so in love with her, stayed with Jen because of this, and Jen knew, obviously, and I just,
There's just so much more to it, and I want more on Jen. I want more statements from Jen and things because it's so interesting, all of it.
I think as soon as trial happens and they release all the information from the autopsy,
We're gonna know so much more.
everything's going to piece together. Everything's going to
It's gonna be
click.
like Gannon. Once we got to trial, everything made
It
sense.
all made sense.
It did. So that's where we're at with Madeline Soto and Stefan Stearns. If we have any, like, obviously we're gonna have an update. We'll
Yeah.
probably upload a short on YouTube after his, was it pretrial?
Pre-trial is July 10th.
July 10th pretrial for him. So we'll have an update on that.
And then trial is August 19th.
Yes, and this is going to be most likely, it says
60 charges for
yeah, the
the
sexual abuse crimes are what we're going to try first. So we are going to keep you updated on all that. We just want to give you the update that we have. It was a lot, I know that, but oh my gosh, it's a big case.
Yeah, it's so national. It's going to be.
And I'm really enjoying Florida's laws, so this will be fun.
You're not going to convince me to move there.
It's fine. You can come visit me.
Okay.
So, remember how I said buckle up for the next two? Stay buckled.
Click it or ticket, bitch.
What the fuck is going on in Colorado?
Bro, I don't know.
And what does it mean for Suzanne Morphew? Guys, this is not the Suzanne Morphew update I thought I would be giving you guys. It's really not. And I would love to tell you that any of this is going to be good, and it's not. None of it is. So, if you're not familiar with Suzanne's case, she was our third episode, technically, our second case we ever covered. Suzanne was reported missing on Mother's Day in 2020 in Salida, Colorado. Her husband, Barry, was arrested a year later, but charges eventually got dropped without prejudice, meaning that he can be charged again at any time. And this happened because the judge barred 14 prosecution witnesses, and Suzanne's body was found in September of 2023. Her death was determined to be homicide with use of tranquilizers, something Barry had in the house and we knew would be found in her, most likely. And that's where we stand.
Yeah.
As of today, that is it. So now for the update that I didn't think I was giving you guys. This is a two-part, and funnily enough, they have absolutely nothing to do with each other, but they have everything to potentially do with Suzanne. So let's start with Linda Stanley, and you might recognize that name because she was the district attorney for Suzanne's case, and she's the district attorney in the charges against Barry for her murder. And she just had a 2-week disciplinary hearing in Denver. And what about? Well, her mishandling of Suzanne's case and another case.
They specifically said Suzanne's case?
Yes, specifically, that is what half of this disciplinary hearing is about. And
do you know what the other case is?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that because it's important.
Oh my gosh.
So, Linda's time as a DA on Suzanne's case was described as a ship with no captain. A captain who refused to man the brig and let her crew go down. Basically, there's claims that nobody knew what was going on. There was too many hands, too many moving parts, too many people to constantly be updating, and timelines were getting confused. Things were being missed. People were being confused for other people, and it was just a lot. They actually had quite a few investigators quit because he felt like he was the only person working on this case. He felt that if he wasn't here doing this, there would be no case. Getting closer and closer to trial, they had no idea what direction she was even going with this.
Yeah.
Hence the 14 witnesses that we had barred. And I did not get super into that in our episode because that episode was almost 2 hours long. And like I told you guys, there was things that I did leave out because it would have been a whole tangent to go down the Linda Stanley thing. But if you remember, Barry's attorneys had commented on her mishandling of the case. And things about that is she decided to go on a domestic violence hunt on the judge. She decided that she was going to track down his ex-wife, talk to her, and basically run a campaign that this judge was a wife beater. So that's part of it. Also, in her media campaign, she did campaign a lot against Barry. She was very tunnel visioned on Barry and Barry alone. And investigators saw this. So they're really focusing, and also to defend her a little bit, this was her first major case. First major murder investigation, and it went national, and it was huge, and there's so much to it. So I'm not saying that, like, she did her best or tried her hardest, because obviously I wasn't there and I don't know how to do this job. But people quit. A lot of things were happening, and obviously it was enough for her to have a 2-week disciplinary hearing about it. So she also did a interview on a YouTube channel called Profiling Evil. And she went on this in the middle of the active investigation for Suzanne, talking about Barry and all of this stuff, and including the judge stuff. And her defense in her disciplinary hearing was, but I used a personal picture, not my DA picture, so it was me talking, not me as a DA.
Mm.
There's also other things that they brought up that she goes, well, I said those off the record. And they responded with, to a reporter.
Yeah.
So she just loose lips. We were very much not, and we don't have the results for her disciplinary hearing yet.
Yeah.
Let me get into the other half of her disciplinary hearing.
Oh no. Okay.
So what also triggered this was recently there has, and I think you might have heard a little bit about this. There's a 10-month-old who died at the hands of the mom's boyfriend. And, well, the judge just had to dismiss the charges against the boyfriend and the child neglect charges against the mom because of Linda Stanley's media campaign against the boyfriend. So instead of just being a DA and doing what you needed to do, she decided to make nonstop comments about the fact that the boyfriend was only watching the baby so he could get laid. He didn't really care about the baby. He was just there to watch the baby so that he could get laid, and that the mom was neglectful because she just let anybody be with the child. And so because of all of her comments about the mom and the boyfriend and saying all of this stuff to the media, the court had to drop charges against them, even though he was guilty. So this is what she all was. Like, this is what her disciplinary hearing was on, which, awesome, because she had the entire investigation. So what does that mean? Like, are they going to have to do a new investigation if she gets disbarred? What happens? So that's the first half of fuckery in Suzanne's case. Let's get to the second half because it has nothing to do with that. So, a month. Okay, well, like, it all started coming out. It just really broke hard about a month ago, but the investigation started back in the fall. A CBI agent in Colorado is being investigated for tampering with DNA in over 600 cases between 2008 and 2023. Her name was Yvonne, and she would cut corners in testing. So a lot of her test results are unreliable, as well as straight up deleting DNA if she didn't feel like going through the extra steps of troubleshooting that DNA. She would just delete it. And there were 2 investigations into this previously, one in 2008 and another one where her coworkers had said something about her practices and how she does things, but for some reason she was still allowed to continue to do everything she was doing. So all of this is going to be a headache for Colorado for years. There's going to be thousands of people like challenging their convictions. Like, we are going to have hundreds to thousands of cases being challenged in Colorado because it's not just one district, it's a CBI agent. So that is a lot of cases. And while they have not released a public list of all the cases that are involved, they are going through them and attorneys are being contacted and things like that.
They're probably going to release it at some point.
Yes, I think we're getting closer to it, but I think that they are
There's so
trying
many.
to contact all the attorneys in the individual cases before it's a public thing. So it's, yeah. So I don't know if she was a part of the investigation. I don't know if she was a part of Suzanne's body recovery, but if she was a part of either one of those, that's a whole other thing that needs to get investigated before we even get back to Suzanne.
Yeah.
And then, so
it could explain the random ass DNA that they found in her car.
Thank you. So that was where I was going to come back to the third-party DNA we found.
Mm-hmm.
Is it actually third-party DNA? Because it was found in the car, on the bike, and like on the steps, and like right on the entrance of like the garage or the house. So was that third-party DNA, or was that DNA that she didn't want to continue to troubleshoot?
That she
Or
fucked around with.
was it DNA she cut corners? And the test results are unreliable. It's a partial match of something that has nothing to do with this.
The thing is also, like, if you like really think about it, cutting corners, deleting shit, things like that. For all we know, she may have been testing the wrong DNA for like different
For this
cases.
case.
For any cases
Any
that she may
cases,
be
yes.
doing.
So, yeah, it's just, these are two major things
Yeah.
that,
How many people down this line of hers are going to get in trouble with it though as well? Because like if multiple people have said something, like
yeah, I want
probably
to
the
know what
superiors.
supervisors never, like what superiors are definitely, because to have this be
What?
brought up before and her to still continue, and that's what a lot of people were angry about, was that she was still continued to allowed to do this stuff.
What a mess, dude. I can't.
So one of the only good things with all of this
Mhm.
being is Suzanne's body was found in like outside of Moffat, which is,
Mhm.
was it Saguache County?
I
I
didn't.
can't say that word. That's why I didn't even write it in here because I want to say it. But so that is, so Linda Stanley was the 11th Judicial District,
Mhm.
and Kelly is the DA now in Suzanne's case, and she is the 12th Judicial District because that's where Suzanne's body was found.
Okay.
So luckily, we have this case in a different district now.
Thank God.
So hopefully, anything with Linda, we just have to reinvestigate or just double doing everything. And then this DNA stuff, I honestly think we're not going to have any updates in Suzanne until we get to the bottom of the DNA tampering in the CBI, because
If we even get one.
yeah, I feel like,
Because we don't technically know if any of this DNA is linked to Suzanne at all.
no, and we don't know if she was on Suzanne's case, if Suzanne's case is one of those 650. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because that third-party DNA evidence has been so weird this whole
Yeah.
time, and it has never made sense. But this would make it make sense.
Yeah.
This is, I feel like it does.
Mm-hmm.
So I also feel like this is why we don't have charges for Barry, why we haven't seen anything, because they knew Linda Stanley was going for that disciplinary hearing, and they've known about the CBI agent since around, I think it was like October, and Suzanne was found in September.
Yeah.
So I really hope she wasn't a part of that team.
I'm also still super confused. They know this other man killed this baby. And just because one district attorney is saying comments they can't convict him,
It
like doesn't
ruined,
make
like
sense to me.
it ruined the
Okay, go
she
to a different area and then try it.
yeah.
There's
The whole thing of
that doesn't
how
make
she did it
sense.
and what she, like, they didn't have any other choices but to drop the charges against them.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense either,
No.
but, like, could you imagine fucking your job up on such a level that that happens?
I hope she gets charges.
So, disbarring is the top thing we're looking at right now for. But I'm also really surprised we haven't gotten a statement from Barry about any of this.
It's probably because his attorney told him to shut his fucking mouth.
Well, that's who he releases everything through anyway. I'm just, like, they have something to say about everything else, and especially with how much they, like, trying to light Linda up. I'm really impressed they haven't come out with an "I told y'all so."
They're probably waiting till the hearing
It's all
and
done and
everything's
everything's
made.
released.
And they're probably going to do a big FU to her. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Don't worry, we'll share that with you guys. But as a reminder, Suzanne's case is still open. It's active. Tip line 719-312-7530. Anyone knows any info. But that's where we're at. We have two major red tape lines to cross before we can even start doing anything with Suzanne.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate and not the hiccup I thought we were getting in that case.
It would explain a lot, though.
But it does. Doesn't it fill in so many holes?
It does. If it's accurate. If it's factually
Yes,
correct.
the DNA and Linda. Like, all of this. So, yeah, that was a lot today, guys. We had We had a lot of information for you. But yeah, that's where we stand on everything. And we will be back with you guys. We do have some parole hearings coming up that will happen before our next WTF, even before this WTF, probably, that we will have shorts out on YouTube for. We're going to try to start putting those shorts into reels on Instagram and Facebook so you guys can also see them there, but also go follow us on YouTube. You can have the visuals of us on this beautiful couch. See our faces.
Yes, follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We're putting out reels. We're putting out shorts for like real life thing. Obviously, everything's
Real life things.
Real time things
Yes,
happening.
things that are much quicker to get out to you than coming in and recording and editing.
So follow us.
Follow us. We also do have the Justice for
Website.
Justice for podcast website. And on there, it has links to all of our socials, all the places you can listen, and
the episodes if you want to go back and listen to anything.
We have a case submission page if you guys want to submit any cases for us to cover. And we also have a resources page. So all the tip lines, any petitions, any domestic violence, all the other resources are on there for you guys to utilize. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sticking it out with us today, you guys.
Yeah. I like our WTF episodes. They're fun.
They are fun. All right. Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.